Okay, so today we are going to discuss about research, resume, and how we can answer those questions. Doesn't matter where you are going to answer. Maybe in some associations, maybe of course USMLE residency, match interview, all those things. So first, it's important to acknowledge your research experiences. Okay, so my suggestion is your research paper should be um, lined up in the like the recent one to the last one. Okay, so the first thing. So whatever research you have done in the latest time, you should always put up first. Okay, if you are applying for assembly, in that case, you will see that it is already in that manner. They arrange it in that manner. But if you are preparing your CV, your resume, in that case, your research paper should be lined up in this way. Okay, that's the first. Now, second thing is what things you should be caring about when you are preparing for any interview. Okay, these are some few questions they will ask you, like, okay, tell me your research experience, right? Or they might ask you about your strength, your weaknesses. And then in the research, they will follow further questions. Okay, so this is the basic pattern they will follow in whichever field you are applying. Okay, so when they're asking about your research experience, so it's always good that you should start by story narrative. Okay, like how you started, when you started. For example, let me share my story. If someone have asked me that, tell me your research experience. Okay, so how I would answer. So my answer would be, I started my research work when I was in second year. Now it's very shocking how someone can start in the second year of your med school, right? Because at that time we don't know anything. So I started by searching about research. I searched some research based Coursera courses, and I learned about it. What is review paper? How to search for the paper? How to work on questions like PICO and everything. And then I started my um, research work, and I started by making my profile on LinkedIn. Because and then you will see that when you tell someone that you are on LinkedIn, you can just send a request to those people with whom you are giving the interview, because it's a sign of a respectful gesture also, and also it's a friendly gesture that you know these people, and you are going after the interview, you are following them. Okay, so that's a good thing. So you can tell this thing also. So I started with the LinkedIn profile, and there I met a group who was working on the research paper, and that way we started working on the research. So that was the thing for me. Okay, so this was the narrative that I gave about my research. Now that in 2 minutes I told that how I started my research and from where, what was my first step for the research. Okay, now I will tell what was my interest and how I did it. So my interest is neurology. So what I will do, I will say that okay, I was interested in neurology. So I started my first research paper in neurology. It was about Parkinson's disease, and it was deep brain stimulation. At that time, now deep brain stimulation is very common. So how will you tell that it is very new topic? So you will tell that it at that time it was the very interesting, and it was a new topic. So I thought of reading about that paper, and it helped. It gave some insights, and then I started working on the research paper. So that is the second, thing I told about my research. Now, then if they are to ask you about what are the other research papers, tell about different papers, and then you can tell how leadership quality. Now, this depends from person to person. For example, if the um, authorship order. Okay, let me discuss about the authorship order, because authorship, if your name is on first, second, third, fourth, whichever number, it shows what work you have done. So authorship order doesn't matter if you are on first or you are on the last. It matters what you did with the research paper, and accordingly your answer should go in the interview. Okay, for example, my I'm good in leadership. Okay, so my name always goes on the first. Okay, in most of my papers my name was on first. That shows that I was the leader of that paper, who gave the concept. Most of the topics were mine, so that's why I led the team. Okay, so in that way, my name was on the first, and I also worked in managing the team, bringing the concepts, bringing the research papers, and also after that, I edited first and all those things. So that my name was on the first. If someone is on second, second means the one who gave the idea, who made the concept, the flow of the paper, and who is working on the major sections. Major sections means like discussion part, discussion, results, summary, statistical part. Those are the part of the paper that is done mostly by second or third authors. Okay. Now, second and third author are mainly involved in the writing part. Okay. Now, fourth and fifth are mostly involved in the editing part of the paper. Okay. And then if there are more authors like six, seven, mostly the last names show that they were the mentor or the guide of your paper, or the senior who checked your paper, who reviewed the paper and then submitted the paper, like that. So mostly we do that. The first author can be the corresponding author or the one who is guiding. Like for me, if I'm guiding someone for the paper, I mostly submit that paper. So that way. So now you know that, for example, um, you okay. Now I you want to please switch on your camera so that we can discuss now that how will you answer those questions. Okay, Shiv, for example, you are on the third position. So how will you answer? What were the qualities that you worked on? The third author means writing the main sections. So
Discussions results.
yes, so maybe your paper was about nephro. Your paper was nephro, right? So what
Yeah.
you did in that third as a third author?
I mainly did discussions, results, and introduction part in that
Okay,
paper.
yes.
So,
So that was your third. Okay, now you will tell about it that in that paper, my paper was this. Okay, and you did discussion part and all. And what was the result? You can tell. But the most interesting thing about, about that paper was this. Whatsoever the results are. So you will tell that results also in that event, in that state.
mhm.
Okay. Okay. Ashok. Hello, Ashok. So for example,
Hello, how are you?
all good. So,
Yeah.
for example, you were on the first position. Okay. So, how will you answer this
Yes.
question for your research?
Means exactly means I will look after that the paper which I am, for example, neurology or psychiatry. Then I will research about it from the PubMed or any other med clinics, and then
Yes.
I will see first review that letters, and then I will think about that how can I do in the medicine and further all.
Yes. But if someone is asking you that what you did in the research paper, and if you are the first author, okay, so in that case, you will answer that I was very interested in this topic, whatever the paper topic is. Okay. And that made me curious, and I was very interested to learn about it. So I read about those papers, then I searched about it, and I made the research group, and I did that research paper. Okay, that is the work of first author. Okay, leadership qualities. So whatever position you are in the authorship, okay, accordingly you should answer the question so that you will show up that what the quality of that authorship order is, and you show up that thing. So, Ashok, if you are the first author, you should show that leadership quality. Okay. If Shiv, you are on the
Yes.
second or third position, in that case, you should answer about how you used your discussion statistical part. Okay. Percentage and making all those things. Okay. And it was very interesting to write different sections. So, my writing skills are stronger. If you're applying for USMLE application, so that shows that your writing skills are amazing and you make good notes also. So that way you
Yeah.
can link up, okay? Because hospitals or
Okay.
organizations check what they want from their, people, and they check those things that if you have those things or not, okay? If you have the leadership quality, show up. If you have right, show up that you can make good notes, okay? You will keep them safe from legal issues like that. Okay,
Mhm.
so
Yes.
so like that. Okay, now if you are on the second position, you can tell them about your writing thing. If you're on the third or fourth position, you can tell about your editing skills and also the writing skills. Okay. Now after this, trainer can or the interviewer can ask that, okay, are you interested in research? So yes, show that. Yes, I'm
Yes,
interested in research.
yes,
Yes, I'm interested. And further, I love to do research, and also I would like to work with these with other clinicians who are interested in research, and we can find some interesting drugs or something that is going new, and we can also help in clinical uh, um, research, because there will be new drugs, right? And they will provide you those drugs to check on the patient. So that will be something that you can show up that yes, I'm interested in research and we can do such things. Okay, that's another thing. Someone can ask you another question about academic or clinical medicine. This is a very common question when you sit for any hospital interview. That are you interested to be an academic clinician or clinical? You want to you are more interested in clinicals. Okay, so if your papers are mostly clinicals, as Shiv, you know that we target mostly
Yeah.
new advancements and all those things. That's why I do clinical review papers. That's the reason. So you can
Yeah.
show that I did mostly on those papers that were into clinical things. So I'm interested in clinicals. Okay. Because if you will answer the academics are good only for those who are working on uh, meta-analysis, systematic review.
Mm.
Those papers are more academic papers. Okay. And if you're working on something clinical papers show if you are interested in new advancements, okay, new clinical trials. Those are the interested points for clinical medicine or clinical research. Okay. So that will be another question that someone can ask you. Now, here they will also ask you about your strength and weakness. Wherever you go, they will ask you what are your strengths, what are your weakness, right? So even from the research point, you can answer your strength. Akanksha, could you elaborate more? Elaborate more about what? Guys, you can directly ask questions here. We are discussing, okay? So whatever point you want, you can ask me, okay? So, where did I get any reply from the academic and clinical? Okay. So there are two types of paper, academic papers and clinical papers. Okay. Academic papers are mostly those where you are working on finding something new. New in the sense that if you're creating any new drug, okay, that is academic. If you're working on some systematic analysis, data analysis, then it's more academic. The clinical research is more about working on recent advancements, clinical trials, okay, or case-based studies. Your case studies are more clinical. So instead of working, if you're working for some USMLE, UKMLE or something, and you want to be a doctor, it's always good to go for clinical reviews where you work on recent advancements and then you write a research paper on it. Okay. And such papers easily get selected in any of the conferences. Okay, and they're always good to go. Okay, they're easy, you can find, and they're easy to publish also, because you are writing on such paper which is a new topic. Okay, all the journals will accept those papers. Okay, so that's another good point. So that was about academic and clinical medicine. Now someone can ask you about, yeah, your strength and weakness. This is the common question everyone asks, whichever organization or hospital interview you go, right? So you can have some strength, okay, you can have some weakness. Okay, now how you can connect it to the research? For example, you you were a shy person, okay, you are not very comfortable talking to people, and you can't expect this from a doctor, right? So here
Yeah.
you can answer this like that before doing a research, I was very um I was very uh, like shy person. I was not very confident speaking to people and all. But when I started my research work, I I met a team, and when you are working in a team, you learn different things from different people. You're working with different mindsets. and that helps you to challenge yourself, even for your personal improvement and for your personality. So this could be the one answer. Okay. Second thing you can answer about your strength, that what made you were good at something and you enhance your qualities. So whatever strength you have, maybe for example, if you how you can say that, okay, I was very curious and enthusiastic learner, and research enhanced these qualities. How? Because all the time you are reading something new, and that keeps you going forward. Okay, so that is the another way to tell about your strength. Okay, because everyone these days are expecting about more research experiences, and also if you are around the research work showing up that you are interested, so these are the ways you can answer them. Okay. Now, if someone is asking you about how will you take the criticism, that is another question, because and it's important even if you're working in an organization or something. So then also you can answer the question that uh, doing research have made me stronger. How? Whenever we submit the paper, it's not necessary that your paper will get selected in first time. You will get rejection, and that makes you stronger. Okay, so criticism is always a good thing because it can help you grow in a better version of yourself. Okay, so you can answer that. So if happens that you submit one paper, okay, if journal rejects, let's see what are the problems in your paper. Okay, so then you improve those points. Okay, and then you again submit it to another journal. So that's a way you can tell your interviewer that that made me stronger. And I believe positive criticism is very important for any team. Okay, so this way you can show up that you are good to take criticism. Positive criticism, of course, use the word positive. It could be a negative criticism, and no one is good like why anyone should do that. So it you should always take the term positive. They might ask you about how you deal with your mental health. Okay, so in that you can tell about your hobbies and all. But again, you can tell that even for the mental health, the good thing is about learning about music. If you have hobbies like music or something, not everyone is having the same habits, right? Or hobbies. So in that case, also you can tell that I have subscribed some journals, and those journals keep sending me mails, and I keep reading some new papers. So every time when I open my mail, I get something new to learn, and that keeps me motivated to go further. This is something about me. Okay, so I'm like this. I have subscribed a lot of journals, and they keep sending me mails every month. I get new updates about the research, so that keeps me moving. So that can be one answer. Okay, so now most of the hospitals organizations have few targets. The first is what are your strengths. Second, they will check what are your weaknesses. Okay, now that you have already answered. Okay, whatever thing you have and whatever order in which order you are. Okay, that thing also. Your leadership qualities. Even if you don't have the leadership quality, you have a strong team working thing. Okay, that also you learn from the research. You can answer that thing here. Okay. Then about clinical learning and being an enthusiastic learner. All these points that are any hospital, any organization wants from you. You are going to answer all these things, and they can see that okay, you are the good candidate for them. Okay. So this way you can answer all the things. Now, if someone is asking you, like I would always suggest you that everyone should have at least one or two case studies in your research paper. Why? Case studies always show that you are enthusiastic, full of curiosity. Okay. Why? Because when you're working in the hospital setup, it should not be like you know everything. If you don't know something, you go and you search about it. And clinical case study is more about something unique that comes up. If something unique is coming up, you should discuss and learn more about it. So when you are writing something case study, you can show up this that I was very enthusiastic about this topic, and I searched more about this topic. I made the team, and we worked on this clinical case with the help of the doctor. Okay, this way you can answer that clinical case question also. So Now you have targeted all the points, okay, this way. So now you can ask your queries. I have covered most of the part from the research and the resume sections. Shivani, Kavya, you have questions?
I have one question, means generally means when exactly means there are some of my juniors also ask, means when they have to enter in the research papers writing, means after, means as I'm talking about the, means after, means third year or after fourth year, means fourth year there is the final year, means as we think about it,
Okay. So
then when we have to start.
yeah, I understood your question. So when you are preparing for any exam, PG exam or something, it's always good to start your research work as soon as possible. Even if you're starting from the first year, you might be having some research groups or something. And if you don't have, go on LinkedIn, search research groups and join them. Okay, you can do some research courses that are available on NIH. They are also available on Coursera, edX. There are so many sites you can learn from there. And even the school system has these clinical and research skills. You can work there also. So my suggestion is that start as soon as possible, because you will learn a lot of things. And just don't hurry, don't be like to join anything. Join a quality research. That's the main thing. Because
Yes, okay, thanks.
yeah, most of the time what people do is research. For example, if you are doing a research paper on for example, Parkinson's disease, okay, most of the things in the
Yes,
Parkinson's are already there. You will, if you are talking about TDCS, DBS, deep brain stimulation, transcranial direct current stimulation, they are all already there now. So if I'm writing that paper now, that makes sense. It's already in the clinical practice. But if there is some new drug, for example, ACTH hormone, and it is given for some, nephrotic syndrome or something, right? So that is a new thing, because nephrotic syndrome mostly manner. But this ACTH hormone is a new thing to be done. It's in the clinical trial. So you should take this paper, which is the new advancement. So this paper will easily get selected in whichever journal you are targeting. Okay. But if you're working on something which is already in practice, no one will accept that paper. It doesn't make sense, right? Research is always about finding something new. Okay. Or even if you're not finding something new, work on the new things. Write about new things.
yes,
That's the point.
yeah, thanks.
Okay. Any other questions, Shiv? If you have any other questions,
I have a
yes,
yes.
Kalvi.
I have a question. First of all, my camera is because my internet
Okay.
is poor. Sorry, I can't turn
It's
on.
okay. It's okay.
I want to ask you how I can find the clinical cases to work on it and
Okay.
know that this case is good for like research paper.
Okay. So for the clinical case, you can work
Thank
with
you.
your professors. Okay. You can work with your professors if you get some rare diseases. Second thing you can do, you can find some groups that are working. For example, we have already, we already work with US doctors, and we have find few cases. So we work on those papers, clinical cases. Clinical cases are written on those papers which are rare diseases, and you can search about those diseases and you don't get much papers on it. For example, if you're working on APDS, it's a disorder. It's a rare disorder. And if you can't find much patients, then it's a good one. It's about immune deficiency disorder, which mimics up common variable deficiency like thing. But it's not CBD or SCIBD. But it's different from that. But it's about, again, it's a related to immune deficiency, but it's a rare one. So this way you can check if a disorder is a rare one or not. If you're writing about pneumonia, asthma, it doesn't make sense, right? But if something you get and you think that it's a unique, you can search about it and then you can write about it like that.
So that paper was a case study, right? APDS.
Yes.
So what's the difference between a case study and literature review?
Okay. Case study is like the patient came to the hospital You have the whole data. You have taken signature from the patient that okay, this can be taken in this study. They allow. Of course, we don't reveal the name and all, but we use data like CT scan or their diagnostics and all, and we write the paper that how we took that case, how it started, and how we did the management. That that's a thing about the clinical case, so that every doctor once they read, okay, if this type of patient will come, I have to deal in this. That's the major goal of case study. Okay, if you're writing about something clinical review, okay, clinical review is about some clinical trial is going on. Okay, you read that paper, you understand how things are going on, and then you write about it. Okay, it's like this.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Hi, Shrujamya.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
Shivani.
I have a specific question, particularly to our paper, the 8 chartas. So it was a case report. If they ask anything particular about that, so how do we say about the publication or something related to it if they're asking?
Okay, so about your paper, that is Eckhart-Thayer syndrome. So that is also a very rare case. Okay, although we have mentioned there the point that it is associated with PCOS, right? And in coming time, it is going to be increased in number, right? Now, when they are asking you about what was about the disease, okay, so you can tell about Eckhart-Thayer syndrome disease, that what is there, okay? You can talk about that syndrome. What was the reason you took that paper? Okay, so there are two things you know about it. The first thing is it is associated with adrenal gland, and another thing that you will see clitoromegaly, right? So two of the things are coming together. So it's like that. So you can tell that thing, and you can tell that these two cases were there, which was very different in the practice, and we felt like we should search. And then once we worked, we saw that there were two already cases which was masked in different ways, right? That is the first thing that you have to answer about the publication. So once you write the paper, you work in different journals, and then wherever it gets selected, you just publish it.
So they won't ask anything related to how you did the submission or anything as such in details or anything?
No, the question is not about how you submitted, why you selected the topic. That's the important question.
Yeah.
Why you thought
Okay.
that this is a unique case. So you can discuss about the case that okay, it was very unique because when the patient came, that patient is already postmenopausal, and then she's having such issues which is not in the normal way that we go through, right? So then that made me interested. Then I searched about it, and I found that it's a rare disorder, and we found two cases, and two different cases, and it was like very difficult to diagnose, and that made us realize that we should work on this paper. That's the answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, so no more questions. Okay, so I wish you the best, guys. If you have further questions, you can just DM me, and I will answer all your questions. Okay. Best wishes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you so much.
Bye.
Good night to you.